Welcome to the Node.js Node API team meeting for September 24th, 2021. Today, we're going to follow our standard approach of looking at the issues that are tagged for milestone 11. Does anybody have any announcements they'd like to share first? Okay, no announcements. So let's look at the issues. I will share this. Where's my share? Okay, hopefully everybody can see that. So the first one is the review of node serial port. I don't think there's any update on that, and we don't have, well, I guess, Nick, do you have any update on that one?
No, I just saw an email with a little recap of what they did until now. And yeah, this week I will take a look at their work. So I try to give them a new feedback to go forward.
Okay, that's great. Thanks for continuing to work on that. The next issue is the issue with issues that were marked stable. So the first one here that's still active is 930. This one, I think we discussed last time, and I kind of asked if there were any concerns with this landing. I don't think I remember anybody with any concerns, so I'll probably go ahead and land that unless there are any raised before I get to that. Anything else? So go ahead.
Yeah, I want just take a look in the weekend if you can give me this time.
Sure.
And yeah, and if I cannot see anything to stop, you can land.
Okay, I'll wait till next week then. Yeah, sure. If you're gonna,
so
you're gonna have time.
The paragraph 930. Okay.
Yeah, number 930. Yeah.
Okay. 30. Okay.
Great. Thanks. Then there is pull request exactly 1,000, which I added in. This one, LegendaCast opened. Oh no, sorry. I don't think for some reason I forget what I thought. Somebody opened that basically there's a crash in the REPL. Now, what I don't know is, I guess this doesn't look. It looks related to this fatal error, although I'm not sure if it's like like it looks to this. We're getting this error when we try and create the reference. So I'm wondering if that'll actually be related to the one that you know, Jack did the change in core and has been looking a little bit at in now in the Node API side.
Yeah, I think that it's because they try to create reference over list.
Yeah, I may not actually be the issue, but it does look like this maybe caused like we're hiding part of the problem because of it.
But why he obtain fatal error?
Well, that's why I'm not sure, right? Like it may be that the problem is not related to the other one, but we're not actually getting the exception because we have this earlier problem of creating the reference on something, which might be improved by the right. Okay, so right here, the value v thrown as a plain string, which would cause this one.
Yeah.
So I think that basically if we go to
but it's fixed in 16 and 14 version for Node. Is it right? The second, because now we can create error from string. Is it? We can throw the exception.
It may be, but this was back in 16.4, so maybe it's fixed.
Okay.
That's true. Like that part might actually just work, or it'll work better. So that would be, yeah. So which one was that? That was. So I'm just wondering if we have the reference to the other. I don't know, Jack, if you remember the node core. The
PR?
PR, yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't node core 39926?
Okay. So this one, right? But I don't think, actually, that's not gonna help it because like a plain, like the primitive types, we still need to wrap, right? Because that just changed symbols. So I think it's this one that will probably help us get a better error, right? Yeah, okay.
I mean, I think I can try running that in my updated code maybe.
Right, okay. That would be good. How about that? Sounds good. Yeah, if you could give it a run and see what happens, that would be great.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, so that was the only other stale issue.
We could use the code in like test, no? If the code reported by in this issue, no? We could use this code to test the work that Jack is doing now.
I think the comment was that it only happens in the console.
Oh, okay. So these happen only when, yeah, on it's happen if you, yeah, in REPL and if you use the code. So import this on the script. It works or not?
Yeah, I think that's what they said, that if you just run it in a script, it's okay.
Okay, yeah.
So I think we should still see an error, but maybe it'll give us more information about the actual error versus the
Okay.
this seems to be like we're failing to create the error. And so maybe we'll actually see the error, and then we can go back to the, why does that actually fail in the first place, right?
Yeah, okay. Now it's more clear.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so tracking issues. I don't see anything new there this year. If we just flip over to, say, npm, npm. It looks like things are still trending up. It's
Yeah.
4.7 million per week. That's okay. So still going up, which is good. Right. I haven't enabled debug sort of on my very back burner. Create matrix of tested methods. So Jack, do you have things we should talk about on that front?
So basically, like all the I've documented everything for now on the GitHub issues.
Okay.
And for that, actually, I was wondering if it's okay for me to I guess advertise this repo to some of my friends, because I think some of them are interested in getting to I guess contributing stuff, and I wonder if I can get them to write some tests they're interested.
Absolutely, that'd be fantastic.
Okay, yeah, I think
that's part of good first. They're sort of good first issues, and if you can get them interested and help them, we'd be really happy.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to suggest this. So Jack, we can mark all the issues that now are marked like test as test with good first issue, and maybe we can post on Twitter and maybe to our friends. Hey, we have a lot of good first issue, and if you want to contribute to Node.js API, go.
Okay.
So if it's good for you, I can do this.
Okay. That sounds good.
Yeah, I did the same with the lint issue, and someone now helped us on that issue.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay, that's cool.
So there's plenty of them.
Yeah, I want to know the issue on which you are working on now. So yeah, we cannot create. I won't avoid to create overlap. Because I think that you are working on some of test cases now. Is it right?
Yeah, I think I had this PR for a while. I think this one has some merge conflicts I have to resolve, but I couldn't really get around to this week. But yeah, I've this one should cover all the tests for the function reference class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you already have the PR.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So on that, sorry. Anything else, Jack, you want to cover on that one?
Not for testing, but for that PR for wrapping objects. Oh, sorry, array objects. I wonder what we should do about the sort of overloads. I remember you brought up about the values and returning values versus objects.
Right. So yeah, that is a good one too. Which one is that?
That's 1075. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. I guess what I was wondering,
Mhm.
and I'd have to brush up on C++, but like,
Yeah.
can we have two methods, one that returns an object and one that returns a value?
Not if they're like named the same, I think. Like they have to be named differently, unless you use templates, but I'm not quite sure.
Okay. Yeah, unless we use templates, do we use like?
But yeah, because like air already like I think inherits from reference, which is a template class.
Right.
So I feel like if we do another template on top, that's gonna be very messy.
Okay. I'm just thinking like, cause like we're like the current value will automatically wrap the object, like the primitives in an object, right?
Yeah.
Which isn't quite what we want. I
Mhm.
guess it's only from the C++.
Yeah. Because yeah, I didn't really change anything from the what's it called, the JavaScript throw as JavaScript exception.
Right, like this one, I think it's more we're talking about, where is it, this method? Where's value? Sorry, I'm trying to find it. Or is it that it's not defined in here? Right, value, this one right here.
Yeah.
So if it's wrapped, we basically pull the unwrapped object out. But I think this is basically rewrapping it, isn't it?
The wrapped object has like some, I guess, some unique like properties like air val.
Right.
And wrapped
Yeah.
object. But like
But
this
it's gonna,
one,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, sorry, this one I think just returns like the unwrapped value wrapped in an object, just because it like sort of because it just follows the convention, because air is inherited from a reference object, a reference templating object. So like I guess if people are requesting a value a function on the air object, I feel like they'd probably expect an object back like this format versus value. But that's
Right, and then how would you get the, like, so it's an object that has, say you did say 5.
yeah.
You know, what would you get as the object?
Yeah. But I think if for the just case for like error handling, I think nappy throw just treats object as like just like a value. I think it extracts it and like throws it like as like the primitive type.
Right, so yeah, so like I think that we fixed that up, but like in the C
Yeah.
side,
Oh, okay.
you'll end up with an object instead of the primitive, right?
Yeah.
And we could return like a value, a nappy value can be anything,
Yeah.
either an object or other things. So if we actually, that's why I was thinking if we returned a value, then you could get that. But yeah, I think that would break existing code, like you said, which expects an object.
Yeah.
I guess the question is like, okay, so what I didn't understand off the top of my head is that wrapped object. Then if I get the value and it was a, what would that end up giving me? Maybe that's value. If we look here. Because there's object. Okay, now object new. Right, so it's this snappy value. So basically creates a value.
Huh.
And then in value.
Yeah. looks like object inherits from value. So
Right.
yes, yeah.
And then value. Actually, maybe it's going to. Is number. Actually, I'm thinking it might actually, so we have like we have an equals constructor defined. Right, so you can actually get the nappy value, which wouldn't be a wrapped object really. Actually, I think it might. It might be, yeah. So actually, maybe getting the type is just fine.
Okay.
So I think that's fine. There may be some other subtleties, like you've now got an object that isn't really an object internally. So if you set, like you tried to set a property on it or something, it might not work. But that's possibly okay.
Okay.
So I think, okay, so okay, after discussing. I'll say that's okay as is. Okay, were there any other things that I'd commented on? Yeah, that one's maybe pretty straightforward though, right?
How would I do this in C++? Like get a GUI?
I would just like here, if we say GUID generator. Here.
Oh, like hard coded? Okay.
Yeah, it's just like, I wasn't doing like a random one every time, but like the chances of somebody using the other name are much higher than using this plus that name, right?
Yeah. Okay, I see.
So that was kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Well, oops. Sorry, I've just turned on the recording that I'm listening to myself. So, okay, stop. Okay, so that makes sense then?
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. I'm just looking to see if there's any other things that I'd commented on.
Michael.
Yeah.
We have Deepak.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Just finding the purchase. Okay, there we go. Promote. Okay, so yeah, I think that was all my questions. If after that, other than that, I didn't have anything. If other people can take a look too to comment, that'd be great. Okay. Any other ones, Jack, that you wanted to bring up?
No, that's everything for this week, I think, for me.
Okay. So now that we have Deepak, did you have some things that you wanted to talk to us about this week?
Yes, Michael, I have the PR ready.
Okay.
It has linting issues, not here in the node add-on.
Right. API. Yep. Here we go.
That's the first one is the PR enable.
Yep.
Yeah, let me go. Let me share my screen and.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Let me stop and you can take over.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll go over a list of features that I have, right? And then go through the files, right? Probably, I think it would be much better if I demo it first and then go over the files.
Sounds good.
All right. So I have introduced wildcards as well, and options to include multiple options, filter options. So see, let's see what we have here. Under the unit test, we have all these files, and each one of those files is for a specific reason. The match modules actually is for matching the wildcards. So we can give wildcards like this, right? We don't have to type the entire file names. We can type, like with star in between, so that it would match with the wildcards and give us back the rest of the, match with. So async star with match with everything that starts with a star, right? And we can also give folder names, right? We can give a complete folder name in the test folder, like global object or threads function. So if we give a wildcard that matches a folder, it would only select the folder name, right? And then if we have something that matches a file, a specific file within the folder, only that would match. Like for example, type star ex star would match only this file here because it has ex, right, and typed in it. This is the only file in the entire test directory that has, so it would only use that. So those are the
So quick question.
Yeah.
Like, so when we added like a new directory, we would need to add a new match?
No, we don't have to. No.
Okay.
Yeah, it would just so maybe so under the unit test, there's also a list modules that I have, right? List of test modules. So whenever this file gets loaded, right, it goes over the list of files that are there, and it automatically creates a binding, sort of configurations and everything necessary, right? So we don't have to. We can keep adding files as long as they adhere to a particular, like the case. There is a certain protocol we want the test files to follow, like snake case, right?
Yep.
We want all of them to follow the snake case that we already have, like underscore, right?
Yeah.
If they follow the snake case, it's easier, and not just follow the snake case, but also have the the exported init function that is that is a camel case, or the specific, or the capital first letter capital K format, right, of the corresponding format for the snake case, right? So that we can convert between both of them. So that until we follow that, that's good. If for suppose we are not able to follow, we can always I have added a file exceptions.js. There are certain files which don't follow that, and probably like it's also valid in some cases, like async worker persistent is a file which has a init object persistent async worker, and it seems good because the reason we have async worker persistent is because we want to follow, want to have group together all the async worker together. So async underscore worker underscore no callback, I think underscore worker underscore persistent. So all of them are grouped together here. So I think we wanted all the async functions put together, so it makes sense. But the exported init function is persistent async worker, which also makes sense, right? So in those cases, we can add those kind of exceptions here, anomalies, right, to here. Maybe exceptions is not a proper name. If you would suggest that in the review, then I would change it. And also there are cases where we want to skip adding a file because some of the files don't have init object at all, right?
Right. Okay.
So we'll just skip binding them into the binding .c, right? So those are the things I've added.
The match, but back to the match list. I just want to still understand that a little bit better. Like that file. Are you saying we don't need that file if everything's in the right naming format, or is it that?
Oh, yeah. So this is a test case that I've added.
Okay, this is a test case. Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry, I should have mentioned that. So for every file, I have also made it sure that so that if something goes wrong, immediately somebody can, don't have to put console.logs or anything. We can just verify by putting assert conditions here. And the file test cases would be fired because these are already within the test infrastructure. We don't have to write separate test files for this. So what I have done is I have added this way of testing it. Like if we try to run the file with a node command directly from the terminal, only then like this, make sure that this fires, right?
Right. Okay. Okay. So this is just a test
yeah,
file. Okay. Got it. Yep.
Okay. 1 second. So
it's testing the test framework.
Yeah. Yes. All right. npm unit. So this is how we do. First, let me use npm. And then npm run unit. Let me go with the most simple thing first, object grab. So it tested for object of this is coming from our actual test file.
Right. An object wrap is in a directory, is it, or is it?
It's a file.
That the one file? Okay, so that's one file at the top level. Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah, it's one file. And then if we want to run an entire directory, we can specify the directory name like thread save function, right? Thread save underscore function, right? And then that would select all the files within the directory. And to be sure, if you look at it, I don't have a build directory under the node add-on API. That means all the builds are lying right now within the unit test folders. We are not going towards a larger build. We are only going towards a smaller, concise build. So yeah.
Cool.
So for that, all right. And then if we say still want to be, just shorter than that, I can push thread star, right? And it's choose with wildcards, it would match everything within the thread safe. Because the wildcard matched of entire folder, right? Thread safe. So it just matched everything within that folder, right?
Okay.
And if we sometime if along with that we have a thread safe _.cc something over here, it wouldn't choose that because it matched with a directory already. So it just prioritizes the directory and runs for the directory alone.
Is that something you had to specifically like avoid the running?
I put an if else condition for that, but I think maybe that's not required. Maybe if there's a I did it because if you look at the thread safe function _function, within that we have all of them starting with thread safe function. So trying to match on the top of the folder and then trying to go inside it again would be unnecessary. That's why I put that condition. But the side effect of that is that if we put a function file here with the same it wouldn't match. But with the wildcard, it should match, right? Ideally,
that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like if there was another one which was like thread test at the top level, I would have guessed that one would run and everything in the directory.
That's true. Yeah, I think let me see how to work around that. And then if I put the star in before, it matched both thread safe function and typed thread safe function, right? It did both. It would run. So let me probably this will take a little longer. I can stop this and run with something else. Like say if I want to run with multiple conditions, I can space delimit them like this, right? 1 second. Let me choose one of them, async or async star. I want everything that starts with async. And I also want to have object wrap. I can add with and without wildcards as well. So I want everything that starts with async and specific the object wrap. So it just shows everything that starts with async and then plus the object wrap file. So this is space delimited here,
Yep.
and with codes on either side.
That's really nice. Because I know there's been times where I'm like, okay, well, we got to run these 5 or something to recreate and having to edit. So this would be nice to just change the command line.
There's something wrong over there, but most of the other files ran, I guess. But I'll take a look at it. So sometimes some of the files are like, I think having a export, like I think I have to add to the exceptions.js. There are some exports that don't have the exported property name is different from what we expect normally.
Right.
Yeah. So that's all right. But we can keep adding stuff like that. We can add function. Yeah, we can give any number of arguments there. And it would match. The only challenge I faced right now is that the linting errors. When I do a linting check, it is also checking for other files. Basically, the lint fix and the npm run lint both are trying to point out to files that are not part of this PR, that are already there in the code base.
Yeah, that's the strange part, in that it should only do things which are like that are basically change between your PR and the so like, can you just show the linting reports? Because that's something we just landed, and there may be some issues with that we need to fix up.
Yeah.
This part, okay. So that if you right here, so now do you have a like, can you update your main branch?
My main branch. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like say git. Yeah, I forget. It's basically I think the thing with this happening is it's actually checking against the main branch in your fork.
Okay.
That's something we may need to figure out how to fix, but that's something I was submitting a change, and I came across was like, I had to check out the main branch and I had to make sure it was up to date, because that's what it was doing the check against.
Okay.
Because you see that line that says ref remotes origin main.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So that might need to somehow change that to be,
Upstream.
we want to upstream, right? Like, but then would everybody have the same name as their upstream?
Right. Yeah.
So, but yeah, if you basically bring your main up to date what's in the repo, I think that might help.
Yeah.
I think in the CI, that's what it should be checking against, and it will be doing it against the right thing. But
okay, that's all right. I think let me take a look at my main branch and see how to begin.
If that doesn't fix it up, let me know, because we want to figure that out to not make it too painful.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. All right, that's all from me. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Well, that all looks good, and if everybody can take a look, and it'll be great to get that landed, because that looks cool.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Okay, let me go back to here. Okay, so that then I guess we will be back to just looking at if there's any issues that people think we should talk about in the repos. The other thing, Jack, you might mention, like other good first issues, is like now that we've put the linter in place, we've got a bunch of files which don't match it.
Oh.
And every time somebody goes to change a file, they're gonna have to fix up more stuff than just what they're changing.
Yeah.
And so I've like went through and fixed up. I said, okay, I'm gonna pick this file. I'm gonna run the lint fix, which you have to like it's a little bit of fussing around, but like once you do that, then you can submit a PR that actually fixes the linting problems. So that's another thing which is like a fairly low bar to get involved and help out with as well.
Okay. Sure.
So I don't see anything else too new there or here, right? This issue is kind of where we're discussing that one, right? We can list out files where that, we've done it or not done it. Don't see anything there. Let's take a quick flip over to Node. Issues. Let's just say if I can say Node. I can never. There we go. Let's change this to not being an issue. So I don't see anything too new on that front either. So, and unless there's anything else that anybody wants to bring up to discuss, we may be finished.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for everybody's time and the good discussion. We will see everybody in GitHub in next week. Thank you very much.
Bye, guys.
Okay. Bye.
Thanks. Yep, bye.
Bye.